If you want to see me create my first look using the Juicy Boost palette by Coloured Raine, then stick around. Hi there, it's Hélène, and oh yes, we are going to play with this lovely, lovely palette. I have done the swatches for this eyeshadow book. I will put that right there. And it is based on the swatches that I decided what it is I'm going to do for my first ever look today with this palette from Coloured Raine. And if you're not familiar with the palette, it has a book style. So there are two levels of shadows. Let me just get the plastic out so I can properly show you. So this first level has, 9 shadows and the mirror on this one side. And then there's another set of 9 shadows with another plastic that I don't think is really required because there's this backing here that could act as the plastic with some additional shadows on the back here. And of course I say I've planned out a look and now I'm wondering if I should change the look because that's just the kind of stuff I do. And I think I am going to start, no matter what, with pink grapefruit, this one right here in the crease, and then go from there. But I do think I'm going to do a very intense look. A berry-based intense look today. So as I said, I'm going to go into pink grapefruit with a fluffy brush, and conveniently enough, it is on the side of the palette with the mirror. And I'm going over a shadow that you'll see already on my lid, which is a mixture of desert and wheat from my Pan That palette, the Smashbox Matte Exposure, but all of that will be covered up pretty quick. I always do this base look no matter what I'm doing. Just a little bit more dressed up for the camera for you when you see me. And it just gives me kind of what I call a blank canvas for my purposes. Okay, that is pretty effortless, so let me go and do that on the other side. Okay, and I do like to go on the very inner brow and bring it up to the brows themselves. It's just something that I enjoy. And I think I'm going to just bring it down just a little bit as well, still using the fluffy brush, because it's not that deep of a color. And it works for my skin tone to do that. Okay, so we have the first shadow. And then I really do want to wear, am I gonna go that way? I think I'm going to do something different. I was going to go with Berry Beet because it is a color that really, really surprised me in the swatches. But I've been wanting to do a red and blue look for quite a while. So I think I'm going to do Apple Strawberry. And then this one, is it Sky? Energy Boost, pardon me, Energy Boost. And then I may deepen up with this one, which is it Kale? Something Kale, yeah. So I think those are the 3 shadows I'm going to use. And I'm going to keep Berry Beet, which was my favorite swatch of the whole set, for the next look. I'll be good and I'll use something else. Okay, so I had a crease brush from Quo and I'm going to switch to a smaller crease brush from Sephora. It was a set of 5 brushes, and I'm going to go into Apple Strawberry, as I mentioned. And I'm going to have to go back and forth a little bit because the mirror is on the other side of the book and I have not had the joy of trying a palette that is that way. So we are going to see how it works without using a separate mirror. Okay, it's very powdery, this Apple Strawberry, very powdery. And I'm just going to stamp to begin with. I'm going to put it in the crease and on the outer lid. Picking up just the kick up because they're, like I said, very powdery. Stamping again. Wow, my lids are so dry today. Whew. I've been having trouble with moisturizing my skin, and I don't know if that has to do with the mask I'm wearing and my breath going up above the mask, as it does, just depending on how heavily you breathe out in a given breath. And it's I think it's giving me some trouble. Okay, I went a little high. Going to take a clean crease brush and just bring that back down a little bit. It's a little high for my taste. Okay. And I'm going to use, I think there's enough in the crease. I think I'm going to use a more dense brush to do more of the red right on the outer lid. And I'm going to use this brush, which is I keep forgetting, it's full coverage shadow brush. Again, back in Apple Strawberry, picking up the kick up only. There's quite a bit. I don't have a problem with that. Look at how different the color is. I don't have a problem with kick up. I find powdery mattes apply really well, so I have no big problem with that. Wow, that is definitely going to be pretty red. Feels a little patchy. I think it might be more of a patting than a dragging down type of color. I think I want to go again in the crease. So I'm going back to that crease brush, and I'm again picking up the kick up, although I'm creating more apparently. I'm just going to tap again, but higher up in the crease. And it seems to spread nicely that way, so I'm going to just go with it. Okay, and back in with the denser brush. Okay, and I'm going to stay with the denser brush and put it on the tip, the same color on the tip of the brush, and I'm going to go on my lower lash line. Now usually that just kind of gives me a sickly look, but because it's so much red up top, I think it kind of works with the whole look. Oh wow, I am dry. Let me see if I can shake off some of that face dryness going on. I will be right back. All right, well, I do have some dryness right here, and there's nothing much I can do about it. Hopefully the lights are diffusing that a little bit, as in it's not quite so noticeable. I'm going to finish this one eye and then do the other eye off camera so that we don't spend too much time. I'm being very cautious because these are new shadows to me, and I just don't want to create a big mess. So I have pretty much what I want. I think on the lower lash line, I think I'm going to finish up with a little citrus zinger. It's a very light yellow, and I'm going to take this smudger brush and use it on just the inner lower lash line. Just tapped off a little bit of the excess, and I'm just going to stamp it right here, just so that I have something brightening up the very inner lid. The moment I touch my eye, it will all be gone, but at least for now it's there. And so it just brightens it up just a little bit. And then I'm going to go in with that Energy Boost matte. So we're going to put that on the inner to center-ish lid. Let's see how that works. To start, I'm going to take my multitasker brush from Smashbox. It's that triangular, no, pyramidal brush, and I'm going to go into Energy Boost because I really liked that blue, and I'm not usually one to put blue on my eyes, but except if it's deep. But this one has me really intrigued, so let's try that. I'm just patting it on. And that desire to use blue is because of that one Anastasia pardon me, 9-pan palette. I'll put a picture of it right here on the screen. It's had me intrigued, and I'm going, no, Hélène, you have blue mattes. By the way, the Warrior palette by Juvia's Place, I think is a good, at least partial dupe for that palette if you've been drooling over that 9-pan palette as I have. And yeah, I wanted to do a red and blue look, and when I saw what was in the Juicy Tubes palette, I thought that was a really good opportunity to try that combo for myself. Okay, what am I going to put on the center lid? I think I'm going to keep on with the blue color, but just change my brush. And I'm going to go with my angled brush from Sephora and go back into the blue. I just want a little bit more coverage than the multitasker was giving me. So let's see how that goes. It's definitely changing the way the shadow is applying. Let's try that again. And I'm not getting the kind of coverage that I want. So I think I'm going to wipe off that dense shadow brush and use that to get more of the blue on. Or what else would go well with that blue as a transition towards the red? I think I'm going to end up using the Berry Beat after all, because I want to have something more punchy, more accent on the center lid, and I think that color will give it to me. I was debating between that one and Mint Leaves, and I think Cucumber Avocado, which is the other green, is going to be too light. So, or do I go with Berry Burst? Oh, I'm going to go with Berry Burst. Okay, scratch that. I'm going to go and use this one on the center lid, I think. Or do I want Sweet Ruby? Geez, no, Sweet Ruby will not work. I'm going to go in with Berry Burst with my ring finger and see if I can avoid making a mess out of it. It's very, very opaque. So I'm fading it out toward the outer lid, and I think I want to go into that kale, what's it called? Kale, yeah, and deepen up the very outer lid. And then we'll have the halo of red and then the deepening up of the deep green. And so now I have wiped off this full coverage shadow brush, and I'm going to use Kale Yeah, this one right here, to go and deepen up the outer lid. Not at all what I was thinking I was going to do today, but that is how first impressions work. Know better, do better. Just tapped it off to make sure I don't have too much. And I'm going back into the crease and outer lid. Okay, and back in to the crease with the same crease brush as I used for, what's that shade? Apple Strawberry, just to soften up the crease a little bit. And I do have some fallout right here. I don't know if you can see it all, but not too bad. And I do want to soften up a little bit the red right here. Okay. And now that I see how the Kale Yeah is working, I want to put a little tiny bit more of that Blueberry Blast, or sorry, Blueberry Burst, just a tiny bit. And pull it outward a little bit. Not all the way out, but just a little bit more. Yeah, I like that. And so much so, I'm going to go back into Kale Yeah just to even it out a tiny bit more. Very light patting motions to make sure the blend is looking okay. And I'm going to drag some of Kale Yeah. I'm going to go just with what's on the brush, just on the outer lower lash line. Okay, that is looking a lot better. And I do want to do a little bit more with Kale Yeah, but I'm going to use a small smudger brush. So I'm going to go in with this one, which is my Precise Smudger from Smashbox. I'm going to go right back into Kale Yeah. Okay, I've got a little bit on the brush, and I'm going to go on the lower lash line. To give it a little bit of a smoky look, and I may very well cover up the green that I had on. Cucumber Avocado, I think. There are two greens, so yeah, it's Cucumber Avocado, I can tell. Hopefully I'm right. Okay, just a bit more. I know I'm going to be using that Kale Yeah a lot. And I like it enough, I'm going to go on the upper outer lid as well. I'm using the mirror on the underside of the camera because I'm getting tired of flipping back and forth, and I just need to do it a little bit on the outer upper lash line. Okay, let's just take a look at what I did here. Yep, that looks pretty good, although I have Kale Yeah falling out all over under the eye. I'll grab a brush for that. My favorite cleanup brush, which is a angled powder brush. I finally know the name by heart. Oh, yeah, I have some serious Blueberry Burst fallout right here. So I'll have to clean it up with some powder and whatnot because it's not looking too pretty right now. But I am perfectly fine with what I have so far as a look. And I think I want to, on the upper brow bone, I'm going to go in with coconut water. This one right here, the white, and just lighten up the brow bone a little bit. I have Lavender Dreams by Coloured Raine as well on the brow bone, but I want to use a little bit of that, that white. And I'm going to go with a fluffy brush and just pick up a tiny bit of that white and go right on the brow bone. And I think that did a really nice job. So I'm happy with that. I'm going to go off camera, recreate this look on the other side, and do the final steps. Now, the eyeshadow is done on both sides, and I did very much stick to plan, except for one thing. I had initially Citrus Ginger on the inner lower lid, and I switched it out for Cucumber Avocado, this kind of green, and then put that initial Citrus Ginger on the inner corner. So I have Cucumber Avocado down here, and then the Citrus Zinger right in the very, very corner, and I think it looks pretty good. I also changed my lips. I had Lolita from KVD Vegan Beauty, and I've switched it out for the Becca Topaz and Gilt, and the reason I did that is because this color just goes better with a red and blue look, because it has flecks of bluish purple in the tube, and I think that it just goes pretty well with the look. Now we want to finish up the look, and I have a focus on KVD Vegan Beauty products right now. I'll put that video right here if you want to see more about what it is that I'm trying to use up. And I am going to use the Trooper liner from that brand. And I do have already on the upper waterline the Urban Decay Perversion. And so we're going to do using the mirror in this palette, which, by the way, the flipping back and forth, I think that this mirror and this package is really great for on the go, because it's very dense compared to a wider, longer palette, and I think less prone to breakage just based on how compact it is. But for me in my beauty room / bathroom, I would end up using a separate mirror. So most of the time I'm not doing my looks on camera. I would just be using the mirror in my bathroom to deal with it. So I'm going to apply this now, and we're going to do, I think, a relatively, oh, that's weird. I don't know if you can see that. I've got a delineation right in here. That's weird. I will fix that right now. That seems very strange. I don't know how that happened. Maybe I had just a wet finger or something. Things happen. Not sure what happened. I just don't want to put too much on. Okay, that's better. I feel like I've got something in my lashes. Anyway, back to the point here. Using the Trooper liner and doing a decent line. Not going to do a wing or anything. I don't feel like it today. I don't often feel like doing a wing these days. That's interesting. On, what's it called? Blueberry Burst. Where I'm putting the liner, it sort of turns almost green under the liner. Anyway, so here we go. That's one side. And I've been using the Maybelline iStudio pot liner, and so I was getting ready to dip back into the pot liner. So obviously it's been a bit since I've used the felt or brush tip liners. I was trying to be good and use older product, but I am really trying to finish up this Trooper because I've had it for quite a while. For some reason, liners last forever with me. I'm not sure why. Okay, so that looks all right to me, and we are going to do mascara, and I'm thinking of doing something on the lower lash line. I will probably go and find an Urban Decay liner, but for now we're going to do mascara. And I'm going to use the Monsieur Big today from Lancome. I really love this brush. It's quite a good mascara. It is my favorite, tied with the Stila Huge. And by the way, I'm going to be showing off 2 new mascaras soon that I've never used before in a reveal, a product reveal. I can't wait to show you those. They're coming. As soon as I'm done with the eyes, everything else is done, and I've already done setting spray off camera because I was worried about the Blueberry Burst falling all over my face. I thought maybe setting spray would help. But I have to say, in the center of the lid for this look, next time I do something like that with one of those really foiled shadows from the Juicy Boost palette, I will be putting glitter glue underneath because it feels kind of flaky. Double meaning as you will. And so I do want the extra security of any sort of glitter glue to make sure that it stays where it's supposed to be. Now maybe it's a false alarm on my part as far as needing to do that next time, but right now I don't know how it wears and I would not be comfortable being out and about all evening with this look today. I may have some different thoughts if I do another video with this palette for you. And if you do want another look with this palette, please take a look at the swatches video and let me know which one or ones of the shadows are of most interest to you. Okay, so I've got the lashes, the upper lashes done. Now let me take a look for the lower lash line, and just because of that cucumber avocado, I am thinking of doing Freak, using the Freak liner from Urban Decay. I think that's what I'm going to do. And this is it right here. It's a nice kind of gold and minty green. It's a really neat color. It actually matches my nails perfectly, so why not? I will do that one off camera, though it takes usually a little bit of extra time and I don't want to waste your time on camera, so I'm going to do that and then give you the final look. Just a couple of things I changed. To go with Freak, which I have added to the lower lash line waterline, I decided to emphasize the green more and go from cucumber avocado to mint leaves, and I really like that color better because it's more it's closer to the Freak liner and I think it looks better. So I'm happy with the green lower lash line overall. I think it looks pretty good. And I did lose, here's the brush, and I did lose the citrus ginger on the inner lid, so I'm going to add that. Now maybe that one needs an adhesive to stay put. Okay, that looks better. All right, so we are done. I'm not going to add or change anything. Thoughts on the palette. This is definitely a very bold look. I don't think this is a look that I would do necessarily every day. Pink Grapefruit could definitely have been the crease color and done. I would say that these three super foiled shadows would be for more of a special look like what I did today. I don't think that for most of us it would be a daily look. I wanted to use a very bright color in the crease to really try out the mattes. I'm happy with that. I don't usually like a deeper matte shadow on the inner to 2/3 of the lid, so I really tested out the shadows with that part of the look as well because I tend to be sheepish about that. I think it looks pretty good. I think it's hard to tell for coconut, is it coconut water? Yeah, coconut water on the brow bone because I have Lavender Dreams on there already and I have Cover FX, a cream highlighter underneath that. So I think that it's really hard to tell how coconut water would really work on its own. So I'll have to try it on its own without any sort of extra brow highlight. And I'm not sure at this point why this palette got such bad reviews. I decided not, from some people, I decided not to watch any of the videos on this palette before doing my first impressions. The only thing is I heard other YouTubers kind of going, yeah, it's been getting bad reviews and that kind of thing. So that was a bit of a surprise to me. I don't see the problem. I think it looks pretty good. The red's not quite even on both sides, but that's not the palette, that's me. I think it looks good. I like it. I think for a more toned down look, I might not go with quite as red, like I said, in the crease. I would go with that pink, keep forgetting the name, pink grapefruit on in the crease. I think I could still do the blue. I might not do the blueberry burst as much, but I might substitute Sweet Ruby instead of the blue to kind of soften up the center to outer lid. I really like Kale Yeah as a deepening shadow. I said I would, I thought I would in the swatches, and I'm definitely on the ball for that. And I'm really pleased that it works well with the Freak color, because a lower lash line that is green is just, it just makes my day, and so I'm really enjoying the look. The only, if I were to say a dud, would be that Citrus Zinger, just because it didn't seem to want to stay on the very inner corner. But I need to see how this last application works throughout the number of hours that I'll be wearing this look this afternoon, because I do parade around with this kind of a look for the rest of the day when I do that. And I want to turn it over to you. Let me know what you think of today's look, the colors I chose, the performance of the colors from your perspective. Do you have this palette? What do you think of this palette? Do you think it's a good palette or not? I would love to hear. So far for the first look, I'm pretty happy, and I keep looking in the mirror because I like what I see. So I'm satisfied. I'm relieved, because I was a little worried about those negative comments. And yeah, you know what I'm looking for from you if you're so inclined. And with that, I will say thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it every single time. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video. But for now, take care.